Hello and welcome to F1 News Today with me, Aaron Harper. Let's take a look at what's making the news in the world of Formula One today. F1 pundit Martin Brundle feels it is time for some manners and respect after a controversial bodyguard interaction in Austin, Texas. The 2021 United States Grand Prix marked the long-awaited return of Brundle's grid walk, an iconic part of F1 coverage in the UK before the global pandemic. But while Brundle set about picking up where he'd left off, he was instead met with an unfamiliar restriction. When trying to grab a word with American rapper Megan Thee Stallion and tennis legend Serena Williams, Brundle on both occasions met an awkward snub, with bodyguards ensuring both stars could make a swift escape. When he was told, "You can't do that," Brundle replied with, "I can, because I just did." Brundle took to social media the day after the race to address the situation, saying he feels it is time for Formula One celebrity guests to start showing the series and its personnel some respect. Our very own Amelia Taylor has written a cracking article about this exchange that is well worth a read on our website. Moving on to Mercedes, Toto Wolff thinks that Formula One's historical form book offers no guide to how this year's enthralling World Championship battle will be decided. Both titles remain very much up for grabs, with Max Verstappen leading Lewis Hamilton by 12 points in the drivers' standings, while Mercedes are 23 ahead of Red Bull in the constructors as we head into the final 5 races. Two of those Grand Prix in Qatar and Saudi Arabia are entirely new venues for Formula One, and it is therefore impossible to know which team will prove to be faster. Mexico, Brazil and Abu Dhabi provide more in the way of clues from previous editions, with Red Bull entitled to feel confident about the first two of those in particular based on their previous results. But Wolff believes the form book may as well be tossed out of the window given how some of this season's races have turned out, not least in Austin, where Red Bull achieved a 1-3 finish at what had previously been a Mercedes stronghold. Wolff said, "Mexico is traditionally a track that was difficult for us, but this season everything can change. We've seen where traditionally are strong ones and they haven't, and vice versa, so I really think it's a race-by-race situation. I think we've had tough fights with Ferrari in 2018 and 19, and we've won 7 titles in a row. But that is no comfort whilst you're in a championship that is hard. History has no relevance, only if you stop one day you can look at the stats that don't interest anybody anyway." At the US Grand Prix, it was Sergio Perez's turn to not have the drink. Sergio had a malfunction in his drinking water system that made his Grand Prix a race of survival above all, as he explained the scary symptoms he felt as he encountered dehydration on his way to the podium in Texas. Perez discovered his drinking water system didn't work before the race began and appeared not to be worried about it on the grid. But 20 laps after the lights went out, it was a different story, as he recalled after finishing third. Sergio said, "It was crazy, yes. I wasn't feeling well this morning, and from lap 1 onwards, I had no drink at all. It was extremely tough, and already from lap 20, I was completely gone. I had no strength, I was losing strength on my hands, my feet, the vision as well was getting quite uncomfortable, and it was just a surviving mode, trying to keep up. It was a time that if I had a bad moment, I wouldn't be able to control the car. So it was the longest race of my life, no doubt about that. Lucky his team sponsor was on hand to give him some wings as soon as he got out of the car." Everyone's favourite Russian has offered an interesting excuse as to why he was some 90 seconds behind his own teammate on Sunday. Nikita Mazepin endured a challenging weekend in Austin as he fell foul of track limits on numerous occasions and struggled for pace in the race before coming home last with the classified finishes. But it emerged afterwards that his hopes of doing anything of consequence on Sunday were dashed very early on after his headrest became dislodged on the opening lap, forcing an early pit stop. Speaking about how his race was, Mazepin said, "Bad. My headrest came off on the first lap in turn 2. It made the first lap very sketchy because I couldn't see anything in my mirrors. It added an unnecessary pit stop. So yeah, very lonely, boring and painful race. Degrading like fuck." Naturally, Mazepin blamed his team for the headrest problem. "I believe it's a human error. It came off in turn 2 and it's never done that in my racing career. So I imagine something was done differently for it to happen." That explains where the lost minutes went. And finally, Red Bull boss Christian Horner says that Red Bull have no plans to protest against the Mercedes rear suspension trick, which has come to light at the US Grand Prix. TV footage emerged over the weekend of the rear of the Mercedes dropping to the ground as the car increases in speed. This essentially stalls the airflow under the car and would contribute to a higher top speed. Red Bull boss Horner and advisor Helmut Marko both noted Mercedes' apparent straight-line speed gains following the Turkish Grand Prix, with Horner then making reference to a system during practice in Austin. Despite the initial furore, Horner ruled out the possibility of Red Bull lodging a protest. "We've never said we don't think it's legal, so therefore there'd be absolutely no reason to protest," Horner told RacingNews365.com and other members of the media. That'll be the end of that then, right? Let's wait and see. This is Red Bull after all. Well, that's it for today. We'll be back again soon with the next installment of F1 News Today. We are powered by the F1 Chronicle. Make sure you visit f1chronicle.com for more news and subscribe to the F1 Chronicle YouTube channel so you never ever miss an episode of F1 News Today. My name's Aaron and we will see you soon for the next update. Stay tuned.